Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, May 12, 2014. In an interview with Bloomberg News, the newly appointed Chief Financial Officer of Swiss Re, David Cole, said that some investors in catastrophe bonds and insurance-linked securities have been blinded by the relatively high yields available to them. He went on to say that they don't necessarily have the experience or skills necessary to analyze the transactions or fully understand the risks they're assuming. He went on to say the fact that no major natural catastrophes have occurred over the last 2 or 3 years doesn't guarantee that losses won't occur in the future. He said some people are chasing yields and may accept risks that they're not prepared for. Cole becomes the latest senior reinsurance executive to suggest that some investors in the ILS market lack the experience and possibly discipline to be sources of long-term capital for the sector. He went on to say, we don't expect these high returns to continue at the levels we've seen, simply because we benefited from the relatively benign loss experience. He said, we can clearly imagine a situation where under a significant loss event, investors in some of these alternative capital structures will actually lose money. Ascot Underwriting in London, which is owned by AIG, confirmed that it's going to start writing an international casualty insurance book later this year. They hired QBE underwriter David Fitzpatrick, who was previously director of international casualty over there. Sources have said that Ascot is particularly keen on pursuing insurance business as it sees rates in reinsurance lines, which make up about a third of its book, coming under significant pressure. Lloyds came out with a report on Thursday saying that climate change should in fact be built into catastrophe risk models so that rising sea levels and temperatures don't take insurers by surprise. CAT models, according to Lloyd's chairman John Nelson, are what the insurance industry used to quantify our understanding of the natural world and to predict the impact of weather. We need to be able to model and understand these events better. The World Cup is coming up this summer down in Brazil, and people are getting nervous whether Brazil will be ready or not. Well, one thing is for sure, there seems to have been a lot of corruption involved. The cost of building Brazilia's World Cup stadium, the big one where the actual main event will occur, has nearly tripled to $900 million in public funds. Garrincha Stadium, which boasts 288 imposing concrete pillars, holding aloft a high-tech self-cleaning roof, has become the costliest project related to Brazil's $11.5 billion World Cup. Critics call it the poster child for out-of-control spending. An Associated Press analysis of data from Brazil's government records shows skyrocketing campaign contributions by the very companies involved in constructing the World Cup's projects. The lead builder of this stadium has increased its political donations 500% in the most recent election. Anger over perceived corruption helped fuel huge protests last year, and there are fears that unrest could mar the cup. There was a 5.8 earthquake on Saturday in Alaska. It struck at 7:16 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It's about 19 miles northwest of Anchor Point in the Cook Inlet region. No reports of any damage or injuries or of a tsunami. Yesterday in Denver, out in the Colorado area, over a foot of heavy snow dropped in parts of Colorado and Wyoming and Nebraska. Snowplows are trying to clear the streets in Denver this morning. Forecasters have warned that instability ahead of the cold front that brought that snow, which is now moving east, may create conditions for damaging winds, thunderstorms, and tornadoes. Today at 1 p.m., 994 days after it closed as a result of an earthquake in Virginia, the Washington Monument is set to reopen. The 500-foot tall monument on the Mall in Washington, D.C. has been closed for almost 3 years now as a result of damage sustained during the earthquake. And here's an interesting story, tragic but interesting. A black bear attacked and killed a female oil sands worker at a Suncor Energy plant in Alberta, Canada, last Wednesday. Royal Canadian Mounted Police say that they received a call just after 2 p.m. stating that a large male black bear had attacked a worker. Co-workers on the scene tried to distract the bear by blowing air horns and throwing rocks. However, the bear was not to be deterred. The police arrived on the scene and shot the bear, killing it. A Suncor spokesman said that the attack happened at a company base camp, which she would not classify as a remote facility. He said that all workers participate in wildlife interaction training. If you look at pictures of the facility on Google, you'll see that it is hardly a remote facility. It is actually a fairly substantial complex. The spokesperson said, "We don't know why this is happening. We are reminding people to be especially vigilant in dealing with wildlife." Well, I can guess why it's happening. Black bears live there, people don't. And you're going to have these intersect points where periodically things happen like this. It's unfortunate, but true. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.